When your sugar daddies have enough for you, you might be the problem. Describe it. Let's talk about it.
Getting ghosted by a sugar daddy has got to be one of the most humbling experiences on the planet Earth, because what do you mean you're the one ignoring me? You're not responding to me. What? In this dynamic, I thought you were just happy to even be in my presence, and now all of a sudden you can't even reply, and it's been 6 months. Like, I'm just gonna, for the sake of my own sanity, pretend that they simply passed away.
That might be the healthiest take you could have on that. Like, yeah, he's got to be dead, because why would he not be replying to me? 6 months? No. 6 months is way too much. Listen, before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss no uploads. Still going strong, still trying to do 2 a day. So hype the video, share the video. We got merch in the store. So when you use this to talk about something that's really simple, right? It's we see this in a transactional dating today, that, you know, he who has the gold makes the rules, right? That's you understand how that works. When you put yourself in a position where, I'm not saying you depend on a man, but you selected him because he has the money. He selected you because you're pretty. Which one is a more scarce resource? When you have content today, not erroneously saying that, you know, women go outside and they see pretty women all the time, and it's been, you know, 37 eons since they saw an attractive man. Okay, man, take that on the chin, say it is what it is, right? Allow it, right? But on the other side of it, when that man has money, you select him or he selects you, and it's just for that, then understand it's his rules. It's his rules. He's fine parting with that money as long as he's paying and buying the outcome. If that's you, your body, your time, parts of your spirit, fine. He's saying, cool, I'll shell that out. But you don't have the limiting resources, so you don't really get to set any of the rules, any of the expectations. And in the sugaring sort of world, it makes sense. It's easy to see, right? You get the dynamic. Hey, I'm going to pay you for, quote unquote, your time. I'm actually going to pay you for your time and priority for your body whenever I'm in town, wherever I need you. Hey, I got this function to go to. The function is called a hotel, and I need you there. I pay whatever living expenses, whatever our arrangement is. It is what it is. Put that to the side. But when he's done, or he simply got tired of you and has someone else, then yeah, that's done. There's no feelings, there's no requirements, no nothing there. When we take it out of the sugaring world and we look in the larger context of real relationships, right? Not that those aren't real relationships, don't get on me for that. But we take it into our everyday relationships. When you look at a man and say he's supposed to provide, when you start categorizing and single out and filtering men based on their income, those men that make it, they're setting the rules. And when you look at that, right, another way to look at how right now is popular, one of the popular things to say is, for the first time ever, women don't have to choose men for money. They're making their own money. They have their own educations. They all have their own house, and women are refusing to get married. Men aren't asking you. This is the other side of it. Men are not asking you to, they're not getting down on one knee like they used to. Because one of the reasons, yeah, you don't need men. And when women tend to get more money, they find they don't need men. They start excluding most men. But you still would be willing to marry someone that you deem he has all the characteristics. He usually has more money than you. And those are the men that are not asking you to marry them. Those are the men, when a man has gone through a lot of stuff, especially when he's gone through it alone, because another popular thing to say right now is, don't build a man. Don't build a man, don't build with a man. So you want him at the finish line. Now he's got the money for the sugar. Now he's got the money to say, yeah, you and you're selling it. Right? We let's call it your time. Let's be coy about it, right? Let's be shy about it. You're selling your time. You're selling your presence. So someone that has gone through that time alone, someone that has made it, has witnessed women sort of play men like him at the time, he finally got to his spot. Yeah, he's making the rules. In the sugaring context, it makes sense. He's already replaced you. When you demand that a man is supposed to make all this money, he's got to provide all this, and he doesn't see the value what he's getting on the other side, or he realizes he can get it in a cheaper sort of fashion, yeah, he's probably going to do that. The time, this is why we also sometimes stress about the time to make those connections with these men that you end up sort of admiring, or the men that you want to be with later on. It's because he's available to make those connections then. The longer a man goes out here, right? The longer anyone goes out here in the world roughs you up. right? Like, I think that's fair to say. The world kind of roughs you up and sends you back home to lick your wounds and get stronger, hopefully, and go back out there. So when you've done things, when you suffered by yourself, you went through the grind by yourself, again, genderless, by the time you make it, part two, you're calloused, part two, you're a little harder. It's not saying that you're not healthy, you're not healed, but this is who you are now. You're probably a little more cynical than you used to be versus the naive parts of you. So now you look at the world kind of differently. It's harder now to cut through that tough skin, to cut through the scar tissue, to say, hey, look at me, I'm worth it. Hey, look at me, look at my characteristics. I'm the person that you've been looking for all this time. Yeah, the timing is important. So yeah, to be cut off by your sugar daddy because you don't understand the dynamics of the relationship is telling. You think he's supposed to be into you because he's paying for this service. No. No. Your value in terms of him, it's a physical one. He's not doing it for the riveting conversation. He's not doing it for your personality because he thinks you're funny. He thinks you're attractive. Some of these people, some of these men on these sites, it's not that they're not attractive. It's just that, one, you aged out the game by the time you got yourself into some sort of money. Two, you don't care about relationships. You don't have time to do that, but you care about having someone there in those times. And like we learned from Victor Sweet and Four Brothers, you're not paying to sleep with her, you're paying her to leave. This is essentially a one step removed from that sort of behavior. Maybe you guys get to play act at being a couple, but in a moment's notice, and this is probably what she's not talking about, you may have said it to something that made him say, oh, you're not worth the effort, you're not worth the time. You're replaceable. When you set yourself up in these subservient positions where it's everything is dealing with money, you are setting yourself up to be easily replaced. Again, let's make no mistake, we're taking this out of the sugaring world. Looking at relationship today, when you get on here and you say, if you're not somehow materially improving my life, then you just say you don't want them. This is you trying to reject someone in advance. Reject the men that were never going to do that in the first place. I wish we had a crystal ball and we could look at some things 10, 15 years down the line and ask some of these people those same stories. And the hope is that at some point in time, you abandon this train of thought and wisened up and said, okay, I do want better outcomes. Let me do better for myself. The problem here, and this is why I'm highlighting this, do you realize how long it takes you to change your mind? Think about the last time your mind was actually changed on a topic or anything. It takes a long time. It takes constant stimulus, constant understanding of someone else's. Say, oh yeah, you know what? You're right about that. I could be wrong. It seems like we understand changing is not necessarily a bad thing, but when's the last time you actually changed your mind on anything? So if you want to remove this transactional sort of way of thinking, this he has to do for me in order for me to do anything. If he's not masculine, I'm not going to unlock my femininity. All this trite nonsense. It takes time to go from that to someone that's compatible for a relationship. And the last question I'll leave you with is, how much time do you have? How much time do you have to just kind of play this game? If it's not a game, if this is how you continue to be, then more power to you. We're not here to tell you what to do. We're not here to tell you how you should be living your life. We're just saying we all have to live with the consequences of our decisions that we're making today. Not, I'll get it right next year. I'll get it right by summer. I'll get it right by Christmas. That's my opinion. If you think something differently, let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those and those videos. And of course, if you have not subscribed to the channel, I think you should. I'm trying to build something dope. See you in the next one.